It's a situation no one wants to find themselves in, face to face with a gunman. We got a look at how school resource officers in Pima County are training the public what to do if they encounter a shooter on campus. A warning, our story includes a sound of gunfire. At Cienega High School in Vail, a class of about 36 is learning how to prepare for the very worst. Lessons learned today could save lives if they're ever confronted by an active shooter.
It invigorates my sense of community to see teachers and folks from around the county spending time out of their summers, some of them not being paid, in dedication to their kids and to their communities.
Taught by Pima County Sheriff deputies and first responders, Deputy Bill Farmer says about 600 people have gone through his department's active shooter workshop, now in its second year. And it's not just educators and school administrators, but members of churches and even the Pima County Attorney's Office.
When we have folks who would rather put their head in the sand and pretend like something couldn't happen, it only makes them more vulnerable and increases the risk of harm to the people that they have charge over. Ditch that gun so that you're not presenting a threat to us when we show up, because we're going to be amped up as well. This does not happen without our kids, without the student role players participating. I mean, you could have a bunch of cops try to dress up like kids, but it wouldn't be as effective.
It's a big thing that a lot of people my age are really worried about, and I just really wanted to be involved in something that could really help save a lot of people's lives.
So what we're doing today is we're now in the portion where you get to apply the things we learned about this morning, so you're now getting to put that into action, okay?
In smaller groups, everyone goes through 4 scenarios involving guns, where they must make split-second decisions about how to keep students safe.
One of the scenarios, we're walking during a fire alarm outside. We're almost at the doors. A man with a rifle comes like right around the corner, like right in my face, like we're nose to nose to each other.
Remember me! Remember me! End scenario. You see a teacher throws themselves at the gunman. That's a big deal. And that's a level of selflessness that I think not just cops, but anybody would be touched by.
After each simulation, a deputy recaps their reactions and explains their options.
That was the only choice I had. It was to grab the gun or get shot.
Right. But again, you guys did great. Just some things to consider. You'll never hear a fire alarm the same way, ever.
If we're able to expose them to a little bit of stress, a little bit of that chaos in the training environment, then you will ultimately see a better reaction when it happens in real life.
Asked me 10 years ago if I thought I'd be doing an active shooting training during my summer break, and I would have said no. It's not just schools. I think that businesses and churches and everyone's preparing for emergencies. It's not just an educational concern. When your training involves real guns and real gunfire and real screams, it's different. And I think that it really stresses the fact that you've got to practice.
I heard somebody say that you always sink to your lowest level of training. And we've only had some training, but we wanted to get better. And so we just wanted to be more prepared for these kind of situations and scenarios.
Scott Billings has been in youth ministry for about 20 years and plans to share what he learns with the rest of his congregations.
I think the biggest surprise, we had a scenario where we were in a classroom and there was a shooter that didn't come into the classroom but was firing real shots. So we barricaded the door, we locked the door, we turned off the lights. But there was also a student that had left for a bathroom pass, and she was trying to get back in.
Please let me in.
That was really tough because you have to decide, do we let this person in? Do we tell them to run? That was one of those things that really hit home for me.
The biggest tool that we could provide people with is stress management in uncommon circumstances. Back in the Cold War era and shortly thereafter, we trained kids in hiding underneath desks when the air raid sirens went off. But this is our air raid siren. This is what's happening in our generation.
At the end of the day, students and deputies prepare for the final demonstration.
Oh my God!
In a crowded hallway, workshop participants look on as students in makeup scream for help. As deputies move past them to stop a gunman.
My job is to prepare my staff for the worst day of their life, to give them whatever training tools I can bring to the table. if I can't prevent this sort of thing from happening, then my job becomes to stop it. There's a huge awakening as they walk out these doors. Some of the feedback we're getting in our evaluations is that they wish that this was mandatory for all teachers and all school staff. I think that that is the goal. We would love to have FaceTime with all of those folks so we could give them at least a little piece of what we got.
A difficult day designed to test emotions and equip participants with skills they hope they never have to use.